House rulership in astrology has the ability to bring resolution to areas of life where you have felt consistently stuck. And not only that, house rulership tells us that there are two areas of life in your chart that affect one another unconsciously. So in today's video, let's dive into everything you need to know to get started in using and understanding house rulership. Hello and welcome back to the channel. I'm Isabel, your spiritual rebel friend, and today we are talking about house rulership in astrology. This is your introductory into what house rulership is and how you can start identifying your house rulership in your chart and understanding how to use this in application. I will not be going into specific interpretations for each house rulership today, as that would be an insanely long, probably like 5-hour long video. But hopefully this will spiral into a future series that I do covering house rulership for each house in the chart. And if that doesn't make any sense to you as a statement, watch on where I'm going to explain what house rulership is and how it can actually be one of your greatest helps in understanding that there are two areas of your life that are tied together. They affect one another unconsciously. Have you ever had those times in your life where you really feel like when your relationship's good, suddenly your finances get better? Or when your career is going well, suddenly your health seems to improve? Have you ever had those moments where it feels like you can't help but think that there's two areas of life basically tied together, where one improves, the other improves, and if one's bad, the other starts to deteriorate? The reason for this may be house rulership, which I'm going to explain in today's video. But before I dive in, before we get any further, I invite you to book a reading down in the description box below where we can dive deep into your unique house rulership placements so that you can make clear what was once confusing in your career, your relationships, and your money. If you've been stuck in any area of your life, if you're looking for clarity, and if you're wanting to rapidly manifest in these realms of life, house rulership could be helpful in this realm, and a reading could be the way to do so. So learn more about readings down in the description box below. I have half-hour readings and 1-hour readings available. And with that out of the way, let's dive into some more on what exactly is house rulership, and then we'll get into why this can be so helpful. So to understand house rulership, I need to bring us back to one of the most basic concepts of astrology, which is the houses. Everyone has the houses in their birth chart. That's one of the two major components of your astrological placements. There's the sign it's in, such as Aries, and then there's the house, such as the 7th house. There are 12 houses in astrology to represent the 12 different areas of our life. And you only know where your houses are located in your chart if you know your time of birth, which is why we take time of birth into account so intentionally and with so much care. Why we care so much about time of birth is that it dictates where our houses are in our chart, which is where does this energy show up. If you don't know about the 12 houses, if you don't know what they represent, then I encourage you to check out my video I have, and I'll hopefully remember to put in the card up above about WTF are the houses, I think is what it's actually titled, where I cover an overview of what each of the 12 houses represent. The reason I bring this up is because not only do we have planets in our chart located in signs and houses, but we also have the houses, so to say, fixed into each sign or different signs. These are called our house cusps, such as the 2nd house cusp, the 3rd house cusp. The 1st house cusp is actually just your ascendant line in the Placidus system, that is. And so basically, each house has a sign it's fixed into, and this is where house rulership, the concept of it, begins. As you probably know if you're watching this video, each zodiac sign is ruled by a different planet. These are known as our planetary rulers. House rulers work off of this system, meaning that whatever sign your house starts in, you can look to where that ruler is placed in your chart, and this is, so to say, a support to that house. Now, I know that sounds pretty confusing, so let's break it down in an example. Let's say I am someone who wants to improve my career. The house that represents my career in my birth chart is going to be my 10th house, also known as my midheaven in the Placidus house system. So, to start off using house rulership in my benefit or an application, I'm going to look at what sign my midheaven/10th house starts in. In this case, for my birth chart, my 10th house starts in Virgo. Then I would ask myself to use house rulership, what planet rules over Virgo? That's Mercury. My Mercury in my birth chart is in Aries, and this is unique to my birth chart based off of my day, year, and time of birth. And so what this means is if I'm struggling in my career, not only can I take my midheaven sign into account on a basic career astrology level, but also my Mercury in Aries could be a great support to my career. Basically, because the ruler of my 10th house is over in Aries, it's saying, hey, I'm over here, I'm waiting to support you. It's like my parent watching from over across the way saying, I want to root you on, I want to help, or an assistant waiting for you to call upon it. And so what this would be in my specific interpretation is my authentic, streamlined, assertive communication abilities can help me be successful as a practical, detail-oriented appearance in my career. We'll talk more in a minute about how exactly in detail to find each of your house rulers. But I want to talk for a minute on why actually house rulership can be something to really look into and re-emphasize once again why it can be so helpful. The philosophy or concept that is being presented with house rulership is that in an unconscious way, there is another area of your life that dictates a certain area of your life. Meaning that in the example for me, let's say my Mercury is in Aries, but also in my 5th house. And so an area of life that may be unconsciously affecting my career as a midheaven in Virgo is my desire for creativity, passion, and play. In the positive, this could be that my creativity is something to bring to my career or my lighthearted, fun attitude. In the negative, this could mean that if I do not have a channel for passion, creativity, and play, it could be a detriment to my career. Now, there is the occasional situation where your house ruler will be in the same sign and house. Let's say your 2nd house starts in Capricorn. Capricorn is ruled by Saturn, and let's say your birth chart placement is your Saturn in Capricorn in 2nd house. That means that this is just an additional influence. You don't have another area of life influencing your finances and your money, as that is what the 2nd house is all about. But that does mean that Saturn does play its energies a very strong role in your financial situation. Understanding house rulership can give you a broader perspective and bigger picture on how exactly each area of your life functions and what you need to maintain its most positive level of balance and what may cause it to have more negative effects or negative downfall. I think hypothetically as well, house rulership could be a bit of a predictive tool in how exactly certain areas of your life may play out. For example, one thing that comes to mind with me that I've contemplated recently is my 2nd house starts in Capricorn. Capricorn is ruled by Saturn, but my Saturn is in Cancer and in the 7th house. In one interpretation, this means that one of the best ways I can make money is by utilizing my ability to support other people in nurturing ways, to be an authority in nurturing others. It could also mean, though, that marriage and connection and my future relationships could play a huge role in what my financial situation looks like. Whether that is I have someone supporting me and they also then support me financially, or I get into some sort of business contract, marriage contract, and that helps my financial situation. I'd be curious to see how it's going to play out in my future, if that is going to be the case, or if my first interpretation is going to be more of the case. Now, this could play out in different examples for other people in different situations. To come up with one off the top of my head is far too complicated, as there are so many different ways house rulership plays out. If you're doing the research online, most people are going to give interpretations for house rulership based off of remaining within the houses, not taking as much of the sign into account. For example, the way I started doing research about house rulership was through Cafe Astrology, and it sounds something like this. For example, again, to take into account that my 2nd house starts in Capricorn and Saturn, or 2nd house starts in Capricorn, Capricorn ruled by Saturn. My Saturn is in the 7th house. The interpretation that I'd be looking for is 2nd house ruler in the 7th house. That is how it's going to be phrased. They're just looking from house ruler to house. So how do you find your house rulership? I want to take a minute to explain to you more fully how you can look at your birth chart right now and find out what each of your house rulers are. It goes simply as follows, and I'm going to briefly kind of walk through all 12 houses. So I'd recommend for those watching who want to do the research on this, create a note on your app, on your notes app, or write on a piece of paper a list of the following. Look to the sign your ascendant starts in. What sign does it start in? What planet rules over that sign? Write that planet down, and then write where it is, its placement, both sign and house in your chart. Let's say in my situation, my rising Sagittarius. Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter. Where is Jupiter in my chart? Then write down its placement, its sign and house. Then do the next for your second house. What sign does your second house start in? What planet rules over the second house? Or what planet rules over your second house sign? Where is this in your chart? And then the third house, once again, what sign does it start in? What planet rules over that sign? Where is that planet in your birth chart, both sign and house? And then you just do that through each of the 12 houses. If you don't know how to find what sign each of your 12 houses start in, I love Cafe Astrology for this. As much as astro.com gives really nice birth chart wheels, Cafe Astrology will give you a list of the sign each of your 12 houses starts in as a nice table sheet, and then you can make this process more easy. And if you don't know your house rulers, if you don't know your planetary rulers, what planet rules over each sign, then you can find that online as well. I'm not gonna cover that in today's video because that will take me on a longer tangent than I already tend to go on. As a final note, to wrap up this video, what I really recommend doing with the house rulership system and how to use this in application to improve each area of your life is to find out your house rulership, basically writing out what house rules over what house, so to say, what is connected in your chart according to house rulership, and asking yourself, how does this change my perspective on this area of life? How could I use this energy to improve this area of my life? That is your quick introductory guide to house rulership. Let me know down in the comments below if it made sense. Let me know if you guys want more of a visual tutorial on how to find out your house rulers. Let me know if you want videos breaking down interpretations for different house rulerships, such as first house ruler being in the first house ruler being in the second house ruler being in the sixth house, etc. Or maybe you want specific sign placements and sign interpretations. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below, and be sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel and stay tuned for more videos breaking down the stars and more. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I sincerely hope you enjoyed. Once again, my name's Isabel, and from my heart to yours, namaste.